Hello traders, welcome to Market Update. It's Stu Naupan here, founder of Master the Markets Elite Traders Conference and the Traders Open Day. So today we're going to be looking at a topic on the higher purpose, okay? A higher purpose. What do I mean by that? And some of you might be wondering, hang on a minute, Tiru, what has that got to do with trading? Well, let me just explain very soon. First of all, what is a higher purpose? So let's look at that first. And how is that related to trading, which I'll come in a minute. So what is it first? You see, a purpose by its definition is basically the intent behind all our actions, okay? It's the driver behind all our actions. So that is what we mean by a higher purpose. Now, however, usually a purpose just does not involve you alone. Just does not involve you alone. Not only you does it pertain to, not only you and your family even, but sometimes a really bigger purpose involves a wider community. Okay? Right. For example, if let's say um, if you're running a business or you're working for a company as an employee, you decide to say that, you know what? Not only am I going to use this income that I'm earning, not only for myself, but also I'm going to give a certain percentage, let's say 5 or 10% of my income to 10 or 20 children in developing countries so that I can give them breakfast or free education for them. Okay, so that's what we mean by not only just you and your family, but a wider community when that purpose can be further extended. Okay, so two things to the purpose. One is the intent behind all your actions, and that intent can be not only just for you and your family, but also for a wider community, as I've just explained. Now, the second thing is you may ask yourself, okay, that is good, Tiru, but why do we need a higher purpose? Okay, now that is very important to have this purpose, and you see how that relates to trading. Because you see, especially in trading, when you have a higher purpose, you see, when you realize that you're not only doing the trading for just you and your family, but also for the wider community as well. 10, 20 children are depending on you to be fed. What happens is that immediately it puts your intellect in absolute discipline. So it helps you keep in discipline. So when you are in discipline with your trading, you and I know that we won't do anything stupid. We're not going to do anything like put very high amounts of risk to make that trade make the winner for us and push the positive equity curve, because we know that if it does lose, then it's going to be very, very hard for us to come back in terms of our reward to risk and our actual reward to risk as well, for it to play out and for it to give a cumulative net profit. So by having a higher purpose, it keeps us in discipline. And also, a very good thing to do is that when you write out your purpose as well, it's good to write out the pain reasons, what will happen if you do not achieve it, and what will happen if you do achieve it in terms of the pleasure reasons as well. This is very nicely described in Anthony Robbins' Personal Power as well. Always define the pain and pleasure reasons for your purpose. What will happen if you do not achieve it? What will happen if you do achieve it? So in this example, if you do not achieve it, there'll be 10 or 20 children that you are supporting will go hungry. Or in the other sense, if you do achieve it, then those 20 children will be supported in their education and you'll be changing their lives. Okay? So good. So that is the importance of knowing your higher purpose. It keeps you in discipline, especially in trading, and also gives you purpose as well, and gives you a driver, gives you a motivation to keep going through, even through those drawdowns, and to make sure that you keep those drawdowns small so they can pull out of them. Okay. Number three. Now, how do we achieve our higher purpose? Now, how do we achieve this now knowing that what it is and why it's important? How is one is first, the main thing here is that you must have clarity on your purpose, on your higher purpose. What are you doing all this for? Why are you doing this trading? Why are you going to work? Or why are you using some part of your income, your 9 to 5 job, or your business revenue? Why are you using that for trading? What is the bigger purpose behind doing this? Okay, you might say it's for supplementary income, but why is that supplementary income for? What is the higher purpose? What's the driver behind saving all that money and trading it and investing it, what is the higher purpose? You must have that clarity. And how do you get that clarity? One is that you write it down. Write it down on a piece of paper, and very importantly, if you can do it with images as well, put some images into that. And the purpose can be broken down into your career, your health, and your relationships. Okay? So why are you doing all this in terms of your career, your health, and your relationships, your income, and all that? Who are you going to support? What are you going to, support on a bigger perspective, which is what I said, a wider community? So write it all down with images. And then the next thing is you put it or you visualize it. Okay, you visualize it. How can you visualize? Two ways. After you've written this down and put it as images, put it in front of your computer screen or wherever that you see it most often, and keep reminding yourself of the higher purpose. So paste it in a place where you can usually see it. The second thing in terms of visualization, bring it to the mind's eye. So what you can do is when you're meditating, when you're closing your eyes, now, visualize that end picture for the purpose what you're doing it for, why you're doing it, and how will it impact in terms of your career, your health, and your relationship. So that's important. So bring it to your mind's eye. Now, the most important thing in terms of the visualization is put the corresponding feeling to that visualization. How will you feel? See in each and every single cell of your body how you'll be feeling that when you achieve that goal and that higher purpose. Okay? Right, so those are the things that I would say just as a recap. Remember, first of all, define what is a higher purpose, understand that, that's what we went through. Why you need a higher purpose, how is that important in your trading? We looked at that as well. And then finally, how can you integrate that? How can you, remember that higher purpose and then make that propel you forward to your goals? Is we said this clarity, and that clarity can be achieved through writing it down and visualizing it with corresponding feeling. When you do all of that, it keeps you in focus, it keeps you in discipline, it keeps you in the present moment, and you will achieve peak performance in your trading, because every single time you place that trade, you know why you're doing it, what is the bigger purpose behind it, and that will keep you in peak performance state. Okay, good. I think that's that in terms of the topic for today, higher purpose. Now, going on to the markets today, let's take a look at the 710 instruments over here. Dollar Swiss on one hand is on the upside over here. The open equity is diminishing to the upside. I would say more open equity to the downside. We already had a first interruption there. Second interruption over here, I would say that is a turning point coming up. Or even if you still want to ride it, I would say keep your stops a bit more tighter. Dollar yen on the other hand, yes, dollar is getting stronger. We saw the open equity stretching up over here, but open equity is a little bit diminishing. I would just say be a bit careful on this first level to go. Still continue long with higher, tighter stops would be this high over there. Okay, but I would say there's a higher probability of open equity coming and turning for it to be on the downside. GBP USD on the other hand, you can also see that just had a confirmation bar, open equity more to the upside, but I'll just be cautious on this one because the trend is a bit down. Higher time frame also signaling on the downside as well on the weekly, and also you can see that momentum is reducing over here. And today also being a Good Friday as well, I wouldn't really say make some any conclusive decisions about the bars because that will be low volume. Okay, Euro dollar on the other hand as well, you can see that it's downtrend, open equity diminishing to the downside. I would say be cautious if you want to write this to the downside. I would say more higher probability to the upside and a turning point to occur. Aussie dollar on the other hand, traders, you can see downtrend, open equity diminishing to the downside. I would still say look for a turning point to the upside. GBP yen, open equity diminishing to the upside, more reversals, two interruptions so far. If you still want to ride it long, then I would say that keep trailing the stops on this. Bitcoin still going strong, almost 60,000 over here, compressing over here. I would just say be careful. Still open equity, I would say to upside for this swing over here. Brent oil on the other hand, downtrend. I would say open equity still to the downside over here. Okay, gold on the other hand, you can see over here. You can see that open equity is more to the downside. However, we are seeing a bit of a reversal, but I would still say that keep it to the downside if it does take out this low over here to re-enter. FTSE on the other hand, uptrend, open equity, where would I say? Um, I would still see that there's a turning point, high probability turning point if it does confirm more open equity to the upside. And then what we have is on Dow Jones. Dow Jones, on the other hand, open equity more to the upside, still momentum coming strong to the upside. S&P still to the upside, and then we got silver bouncing back up at about $25. I would still say open equity to the upside, downside as diminished. Wheat, on the other hand, you can see this whole downward move, not much strength over here. I would still say open equity has also diminished to the downside, looking at reversals to the upside. Okay, right. I guess that's pretty much me in terms of that analysis over here on the market update. Now we will go on to our um, trade performance for the both floors. Okay, so as you can see over here, in terms of our performance on the elite room, you can see that these four strategies have been flat. 100 CI 4.0 100 pips made a good profit of 1.35%. Continuation pattern slow exit, lost back a little bit under than 1%. So overall we are up 0.38% over here on the elite room. In terms of the live trading room, what we have is two strategies. We are flat. 20% OE and 70% OE, we did take a little bit of a hit at 0.82 and 0.39%. And the TSL primary, we had a hit of minus 2% over here and a one-day exit of minus 0.5. A little bit of a drawdown and minus 3.71% on the live trading room. Now, in terms of across both rooms, when we total that up, 0.38% on the elite room, minus 3.71 on the live trading room. Overall, net small loss of minus 3.33%. Okay. All right, I guess that's pretty much that from me in terms of the market update, in terms of our topic on a higher purpose, and then in terms of looking at the markets on the overall, in terms of where they are moving forward, and in terms of finally our performance. All right, I wish you all a good Friday and a very good Easter weekend as well. And as we say till the next time, stay disciplined, follow your trading plan, and keep trading like a master.